Right, boys, it is August, which means we are 66% through with K1 Speed's Challenge GP is here. And I can assure you, every weekend after this race will go by quick. Go check out last month's video. I'll leave the link in the description like I usually do. Here's the standings after that race. We had a new name creep into this top 10 list. And for the most part, everybody's kind of been solidifying their piece on this top 10 leaderboard, but there was a couple of people here that didn't make it for August, so there's a couple of shakeups for sure. But me and Giovanni have held on to our first and second places respectively since March, and we've been holding firm to those, building a gap to everybody else. But Connor has been climbing since February, and I know he's not stopping anytime soon. Like I mentioned before, he's one of the fastest guys in Phoenix. So gonna have to watch out for them too. From this month and every month up to December. But here we go, Q2. This is the parade lap, so don't worry, you guys didn't miss anything. But our best time in Q1 was a 25.20, which again, abhorrent. We don't need 25s in here. If you guys aren't from Phoenix, 25s are not what you want to be setting if you want a competitive position in this league. 25s are pretty slow, but they've become more common lately with the drop in power between all of these carts, and it was a problem again this month, but it didn't seem to be as bad as July was. There was a little more parity between everybody, so that was good at least. 25.18 is what we hit here first, which is a hair better, but like I said, we don't want 25s right now. That's not going to put us in Group A. That's not going to put us in a comfortable position. I would say, based on how everybody was, timing, 24.9 is maybe acceptable for getting into that A group, but with these 25 times, we're not guaranteeing anything here, so I don't want to be stuck with them. But yeah, you notice on the right side, the shutters are even more open than last month, and to me it felt a little bit hotter than it was last month. I like Caden by right here because I want somebody to follow, and he's faster than me, so fits the bill. I want to try to develop a line and get this hot pavement from behind him and see if I can help it all, because every time I look at the leaderboard, I don't even see my name in the top 5, which is a problem. There's maybe, I think there was 3 qualifying groups of 8. There's about 24, 25 people that came in this month, so not as big as April, February, January, but as we get closer towards the end of the year, every point will count even more. Every mistake, every mishap is going to hurt you more, and at this point we got to be limiting those as much as possible. But I didn't get too much practice this month. I came in only for the actual race day. I didn't go in Saturday. That's basically when I got to Phoenix. It's usually when I get to Phoenix, but anyways, we had a clean lap right there, 24.93. That's a little bit better. That could put us towards the very back of Group A. This month, Group A times between the top 12 were very, very close, besides the top 3, I would say. So yeah, this could put us in there. This is another clean lap, and we actually seem to be catching up to Caden as we hit at 24.84. Now I'm starting to think that that'll put us in maybe around mid-pack based on everybody else's lap times. You actually see a very, very large drop in power in Caden's kart, because if he was just hitting slow lap times, I think he would have let me by right there. It's kind of crazy how much it dropped off, because that 45 seemed to be faster than me for the first few laps. So that's interesting. Keep that in mind for later, for the actual race, that 45 kart. 24.84 is what we're going to have to go off of for now. We have a couple of laps left in qualifying, and these are our last couple of chances to see if we can get any higher for Group A. But a 24, either way, this month is definitely going to put us in that speediest group. So, but I'm looking at the leaderboard still, and I'm still not really up there. So, you know, I'm kind of freaking out a little bit because I got some PTSD from June. I do not want to be in Group B again. That I can't afford to be in Group B again. Any of the guys in the top 10, you know, who's trying to chase a top 3 finish at the end of the year, I don't think none of us can afford a Group B lap time or a Group B race. So it's getting pretty shiesty out here, out in this Northern Desert. We finished Q2 with the 25.125. Whatever, dude. I had to do a double take because I was like, really? Was that slow? But it still put us in P8 in Group A, which I was happy about. The only thing that's a little bit worrying right here is the fact that we're starting on the outside, going into the first couple of corners. So I'm kind of thinking how I'm going to start this. I can't really dive on the inside because I have no guarantee of how James in this 31 right in front of me is going to start. And he actually gets a slower start than I do, so it's a good decision of me to stay out. And I do what I did in May and stay out on the outside right here in the first hairpin to avoid any potential carnage. But as soon as we get into the 3-pointer right here and exit, I notice immediately just how abysmal the understeer is on this kart. And I'm kind of hoping that, you know, just kind of driving it will clinic the tires. We gain a position right there, and James pushing somebody out of the way. But it seems like we already have to get into defending position like we did last month. But we have car number 24 right here, which was, I'd say it was B tier compared to the rest of the carts we have. It was definitely better. I didn't get to drive it, so I don't know what its strengths were, but it already appeared to have better handling and more power than mine. So we're gonna see what we could do against. At this point, I was kind of hoping that James would keep him at bay. James in the number 31 kart. And I could kind of stay in the mix because you can barely see what 5th, 4th right now. They're already leaving. So, but there we have number 24 going into James, kind of pushing him out of the way. And unfortunately, the inside of the 3-pointer becomes the outside, so I couldn't really do much in that regard. And I actually get pushed out of the way. Right here, I shake my head a little bit just because these last few months have not been nice to me in terms of, you know, what carts I've been given in the final race. But you know, I do what I can, and that's what I had to do this month. So took advantage of car number 34 here, taking the outside a little too wide. Probably had the same issue I did, just a little too much understeer. And the race comes to a complete halt right here. We got a red flag for about 3 minutes. Why? Because that kart you saw earlier, number 45, was given to Luke. And yeah, the battery basically combusted. And they just switched it out mid-race, gave Luke a different kart that was also kicked out of this final kart roster. I think it was also pretty slow. But that green flag, that restart gave us an opportunity to catch up to James, and we passed him right there for 7th. But he's still right behind us. we can't really escape anybody with how understeery this thing is, and it doesn't seem to be getting too much better. But I see Scott fighting Luke now. And what's the deal with Luke getting all this screen time, bruh? That your own video wasn't enough for you, or what? In May, I was behind you trying to catch up. In July, we were scrapping. Holy moly, Jolie, bruh. Well, 39. So yeah, this is the card I was talking about. 39 with Luke in it. I look behind me, you can see the front bumper of whoever's behind me. I think this is Bradley now. I'm not sure what happened to James, but he finished this race in last. So he definitely took a drop after the restart. So I think this is Bradley behind me, who definitely had a handling advantage on me, because he seemed to be pushing me after just about every deep corner. So this was definitely a situation from last month, kind of covering the insides, but it appeared that Bradley didn't have the speed to be able to overtake me outside of that three-pointer, especially in on this back straight. So I didn't have to take extreme line measures and, you know, come in early. Apart from this one, because anybody can kind of bomb the inside of that first hairpin. So you got to be careful around there. And that number 24 cart seems to be getting away very quickly. If Luke was in a competitive cart, he would have been up there with him, and I wouldn't be catching up. But just about everybody is running their own race at this point. I'm trying to catch up, and I'm trying to defend simultaneously, which is never an easy task. But I think I'm catching up a little bit right here. You can kind of tell, and I'm not taking my eyes off of Luke, the back of Luke's cart. I want to see if I can hit 6th at least. We're basically the middle of this pack, and besides me and Bradley, I don't think anybody's really that close to each other. Worth a damn, you know. So that number 24 cart, that was Scott Phillips, I believe. Looking at the standings, who was in this Group A race, and Scott Phillips, if you guys can remember, was actually the guy in March that I was nearly able to pass for the win. He was only here for that month. He won, he left, he didn't elaborate, and then he came back, and you know, he's speedy in this one as well. He had a pretty good cart in 24, and I mean, he's gone by now. But I'm still trying to catch up to Luke. Luke is trying to keep a top 5 positioning on the leaderboard on these final standings. I'm guessing he doesn't want to dip. He's trying to get to the top 3 as well, but he has a little bit of work to do for these last 4 months. I have some work to do, kind of getting these extra points on Giovanni and Connor. But Connor actually started this race on pole, and Giovanni started P3, from what I remember correctly. So they both gained some points on me this month. Here's the white flag, lap 17. They added that red flag lap. They just added an extra lap for the race since the red flag took so long. I hit the inside of that three-pointer exit. I don't think it would have mattered too much, but I was a little bit frustrated with this thing. And I ended up finishing in 7th. Couldn't pass Luke in time, and yeah. So wasn't the best. I wasn't super happy with how the race went, but you know, in Group A, if you don't finish last, it could always go worse. So despite James finishing last, he actually creeps his way into the top 10 as well. Chris goes into 9th, despite finishing in Group B's race. Travis goes back up. Tristan keeps his position. Nathaniel was not here. in August, so he went all the way down to 6th. That dude is cooked, bro. He went from 3rd to 6th. Damn. Caden makes his way into the top 5 overall. Luke keeps his position, but he's being threatened by Caden now, so Connor is threatening Gio's position for 2nd, and they both kind of caught up to me a little bit, but 12 points I'm still ahead by, so yeah, these last couple months, last few months I should say, are definitely going to be difficult.